or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
And welcome back to Open, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee. You know, Windows of Hip Hop works to promote, preserve the positive aspects of hip hop. And joining us now to share more about the organization and their projects are hip hop pioneers. Yep, Melly Mel's in the house. Give him a big round of applause. Grandmaster Caz is in the house. Caz Brown. And Paul LaSalle. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Here we go, here we go. And they got the Hip Hop Consulting Committee all together. How did you guys start this thing? I mean, you know, there's been a lot of talk about putting something together like a museum and all that. They tried to put something together in Harlem.
Well, me personally, I've been approached for years, over the last 10 years, numerous times, different people trying to start a museum or do a museum. I'm always intent to find out what your agenda is. How does the community benefit from this project? Is this something that you just want the pioneers of hip hop to just donate all their stuff to, and then we got to come visit it? Or or will it be something for the community? Will jobs be involved? Will it be something that's going to protect and preserve the culture? That's what I'm personally more interested in. So,
you know, the people who are putting it together involved, do they come from hip hop?
Well, a lot of them don't.
Are they hip hop?
A lot of them don't, and a lot of the people that I've encountered, you know, don't. Or their agenda doesn't, you know, coincide with hip hop's agenda. So I really can't support those efforts. I mean, Mel, I'm sure, has been approached by many other people as well. I mean, he brought me into this situation, so he could tell you a little more.
Yeah, and I think, you know, this was something that actually was brought about by Melissa LeBron, the great, give Melissa a hand. And really, it was, you know, grassroots people, you know, from the Bronx, and being that we're from the Bronx, and she got in touch with us, and, you know, we thought it was a beautiful idea. And we, you know, pulled our resources in together, and now man hours, put in a lot of elbow grease, and we've been getting, you know, a lot of headway as far as, you know, getting the name out there, Windows of Hip Hop, and preserving the positive side, because so much of hip hop nowadays is so overtly negative. I think something like this is actually needed. You know, because hip hop it did so much for us, and it did so much for people that, you know, they forget what the original concept of hip hop and the original meaning of why hip hop came here. They just think it's about money. Not necessarily about money. I mean, if you got a good product, you're going to make money. But it definitely is about, you know, the peace, love, unity, having fun, you know, moving forward, you know, just creativity, expressing yourself. All those things is, you know, kind of forgotten about. So Windows of Hip Hop is going to go a long way to bringing those things back into the forefront.
So it will make the connection between hip hop of yesterday and hip hop of today. Right. What do you think that difference is? And what's missing?
I think we're just trying to give a broader overview of hip hop. I mean, I personally, you know, I do hip hop tours here in the city for over 12 years, and I got people from all over the world coming here, getting on a bus with me and expecting to learn about hip hop. And a lot of their vision or what they think hip hop is has been, you know, negatively diluted by, you know, what's happening right now. And I feel that if you know the core of this, what we intended it to be in the first place, why we did this and why it came about, I think you'd have a better respect for it, for the culture as a whole. Not just the music, but the dance, the art, and the spoken word.
All over the world.
All over the world,
I tell you, when I was in college, we did this project, and this lady, this Chinese lady got up there, and she played a beat. She said, "This is part of my project." And it was about culture all over the world. And this beat was playing, everybody was whopping their necks in the classroom. And then all of a sudden, the guy came in and started rapping. But he was rapping in Chinese. I said, oh, this thing has moved all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just here in the Bronx and, you know, in the U.S. It's all over the world
It's
now.
a multicultural world phenomenon, okay, that it kind of rivals the internet. as far as its influence on the planet in the last 40 years. There's
Yeah.
really been nothing that big that's been going on consistently this long.
You take all those factors into consideration and quantify them, put them all together. It's only right that a actual edifice be constructed, and it has
Yeah.
to be in the Bronx.
Has
here.
to be in the Bronx.
Has to
Has to
in
be
the
right
Bronx.
It has to be in the Bronx.
And this is where it all started right here.
Absolutely.
Is Sal involved in this? Because a lot of people stop by Sal's place, the Fever.
Well, at some point we're going to pull everybody in together. So actually, we just starting to get it off the ground. But
Yeah,
Sal
yeah.
is definitely going to be an integral part.
Yeah.
Being that he was the brainchild of the Fever, and that was actually, for a lot of years, that was the home of hip hop. That was our place. So now we just going to get a bigger place. We might could have a Disco Fever in the Windows.
Inside the place, right?
It'll
That
get big.
big.
That would be it's a great movement.
I'll contribute one of the posters.
Okay,
Okay.
and Windows
We'll
and Hip
hold you
Hop.
to that.
Windows and Hip Hop is not just
I got a
talking
Fever
about
poster,
a
DJing back in the
building.
day. Uh-huh.
Okay, we're talking about a campus. Okay, a campus, a higher learning through hip hop. Okay,
Why not?
Exactly.
Why not?
Exactly. I mean, we got a big, beautiful, big skating rink coming to the Bronx. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the Armory's going to turn into 55 skating rinks. So, I mean, the Bronx deserves to have these kind of entities in it. You know what I mean? We've tried to increase tourism to the Bronx in the last 12 years, bring people up to where the birthplace of hip hop.
Yeah.
Okay, this is hip hop, and it started right here. We need to have an institution here in the Bronx.
And I'm
Okay.
sure it'll be so big because people will come from all over the world with those tours, and that tour bus will stop right there.
Exactly.
in front of
And
the
that's just
museum.
one thing, but people
I can
come to
see
New
that.
York for all kind of different things.
Absolutely.
Why not have a place for them to come to study hip hop?
People come and stop at Sylvia's uptown.
Oh yeah, they come to
Absolutely.
eat.
Bus, you know what I mean?
Come to
They
Yankee Stadium,
come to
Bronx Zoo.
Yankee games, Broadway shows, and all
Have
that.
hip hop foods.
This will just be another entity.
What would be the
Restaurant.
hip-hop
Oh, come on.
food?
We'll have a theme restaurant inside there. You get an Africa Bambaataa salad if you want. You know,
There you go.
Nelly Mel burger. You know what I mean, or something like that. All kind of
protein shake.
Okay.
No, but see, it's time, and I think it's high time that hip hop is to be respected. Just like our cat said, for what it was meant to be, and this was something that enriched our lives. I mean, I don't know where I would be without hip hop, and I think it should be, the people, and as well as the people that did hip hop, but the people that listen to hip hop for all these years, they deserve more than just seeing hip hop as something that some guys off the street, and then they do music, and they can walk around and look like drug dealers and buy. It's bigger than that, and it means more than that. It means more than that to me. You know what I mean? Even if we would still be doing it, even if we didn't make money, because it was bigger than the money. It was the the cause. It was what we was doing. It was just our calling. You know what I mean? And Windows of Hip Hop, we're going to put it back together to bring hip hop on that higher level, like a more mature, higher level of music and culture.
Right. Do you think people get confused when they see videos and you see stacks of cash and guns and jewelry and all this stuff? And then
I
they
think,
can
of
go out,
course, it has an impact, and I think that oftentimes the greater society, greater population, people look at that and don't believe or don't appreciate just how big that impact is. And I think that the gentleman agreed with me that we're not trying to replace with the music. Because art is art, and for us to dictate what is and what isn't, that's not what we're here for. We just want to open up the eyes to the young, to the not so young, to that there is a different voice out there that needs to be heard. I think something that really profound to me that Cass shared with me was that the music business is a commercial business. It's business. They have an objective, and needs, or aims that are different, perhaps from our own. Whereas we're more concerned with the dissemination of art and the spreading of that love, peace, unity.
So let people know where it came from.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
civil rights movement. A lot of people paved the way for other people to do other things a lot more comfortably and easily.
Right, because the main thing is what I don't want to see is what's going on right now in hip hop defined everything that happened in hip hop, and as well as the people, people, the black people from civil rights era up to now. You can't have what's going on right now be the definition or the culmination of everything that happened in the past. When hip hop in its origins was something that uplifted us. It was like, it took us from, one low point to where it was not a whole lot going on in the Bronx to where bam, it was going on in the Bronx, and then bam, it was going on all over the world.
Yeah.
And not to, to stagnate itself, or we just going to get this paper, we're going to shoot up some guns, and that's the small part of it. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not the do all and say all about what the whole mission is about.
So you got all this stuff together now. You have a hip hop committee, consulting committee.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, the Hip Hop Consulting Committee, which I'm a member, is a group of Bronxites who have backgrounds either in activism, business relations, the community, and we work together as a team to promote and push the best, what we believe would be the best projects. And the Windows of Hip Hop City, we believe, is probably going to be the premier project that we can bring to the forefront. These gentlemen have worked extensively, and a lot of people don't realize that the Rush tours, Mel's work overseas, it constantly propagates hip hop. It constantly spreads it out to message to other individuals who may not have known or learned about hip hop from its beginnings or where it started.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they can Google these gentlemen and just stay on there. If you start at 12 o'clock midnight, you may find yourself 5, 6 o'clock in the morning still in it.
I tell people, you don't know me, Google me and get you a cup of coffee, because you're going to be there for a while.
Right?
So the fact that they're willing to lend their time to this project, their interest to this project, and give their credentials to this project, we think is big.
So you guys are going to be professors, or you're professors already, because you got this hip-hop campus getting ready to kick off.
Well, I was about to segue into that. I mean, really, what Mel touched on as far as, hip-hop has grown-ups in it now, okay? As far as the grandparents now, okay? You know what I mean? Like it or not, we're grandparents and stuff now. And it's time to move to the next level of hip-hop. We're not so much intent on doing it physically, but teaching, the next generation, and teaching, because teaching is the next level. You know what I mean? In anybody's life. I mean, as a parent, you become a teacher, a grandparent, you into another level. So it's about us delivering the culture, giving it back to people so they can take it, disseminate it, and do what they, put themselves into it. So there will be professors, because hip hop is being taught in institutions, in colleges all over the country. I mean, Cornell University has a large, I think the largest hip hop collection in the United States right now. So hip hop is definitely being academically, disseminated around the country. So who better to be the professors of hip hop than the actual professors of hip hop?
You should put that title on, bam, put a stamp, boom, the professors.
well, I know
professors of hip hop.
Bambaataa has been, he's an adjunct professor at Cornell. I mean, and it's just a matter of time before, myself, Melly Mel, people like that, Sha Rock, and just, the forefathers and mothers of this culture, I mean, that keep, putting it out there.
I
ideas to preserve and promote.
There you go. Real fast, what are your roles in this organization right now?
Well, basically, spokesmen, figureheads. We're part of the board, and we just like every project, you have to have the face of the project, the voice of the project, and that's where we actually come in, the actual promoting. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very extensive and many roles, multifaceted, and it's just a great project. It's something that I'm really proud and honored to be a part of.
I'm a board member as well, and like Mel said, we're like the spokespeople. We're the face of Windows of Hip Hop. Anytime you try to, get people's attention, you got to go get the people who to somewhat have that kind of notoriety that they can sit. And you need somebody that can articulate what's going on to people. Okay, there's a lot of people that have been a part of this culture, but
see, a lot of people think that people involved in hip hop can't speak well or represent well.
Exactly,
and just get on the microphone and
part of the growing process in
16 or whatever.
You can't. If you can spit a good 16, you should be able to at least speak. You know what I mean? As much credit as we get for being the masters of rhyme and stuff, it comes from some sort of intelligence.
That's right.
So
That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
You can't just get on the mic and start talking.
Exactly. You cannot become a a professor anywhere, you know, without being able to articulate or so.
So Windows of Hip Hop, you're there. You have the consulting committee. You're spreading positivity through hip hop and preserving hip hop.
Absolutely.
Is that the overall goal?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely. Preserving the culture for
preserve and
generations to
promote.
come.
Absolutely. Preservation, and like he said, that keeps on re-emphasizing dissemination. We want to share this. We want to share the hip hop that I remember. I mean, their experiences, of course, predate my own. I'm the Chief Development Officer for Windows of Hip Hop, and my focus is on growing our work. And I remember when I first heard the music, it changed my life. You know,
This whole thing is young and old because, you know, we get a lot of the social media. You get people that text and say, you know, I'm 65 and I love hip hop and all
Absolutely.
that. We have a lot of hip hop.
Exactly.
The weekend is filled with
Absolutely.
hip hop shows on BLS and all that.
Absolutely.
And we get a chance to see everything that comes through on social media. So hip hop goes from young all the way up to, I mean, it just spans across the generations
Hip-hop's
right
all
now.
grown up now, and what these gentlemen bring to the table, they're extremely modest. What they bring to the table is years of wisdom. I mean, years of knowledge and understanding about what this game is and this practice.
Give them a big round of applause, everybody. Windows of Hip Hop. Grandmaster Melly Mel, hip hop pioneer. Paul LaSalle, give him a big round of applause. Grandmaster Kaz Brown, yes indeed.
And y'all look out for my hip hop show, Grandmaster Fitness, that's coming up on BronxNet. We're gonna
absolutely.
resolve our resolutions and stay
There
in
you
shape
go.
and stay Bronx strong, baby. Bronx
I was just
strong,
going to ask
Bronx
you about
strong.
that. When is that show coming on?
It's gonna come on. You know, we talking about. He's gonna put. That's the next show that's coming up. And me and Ruben Diaz Jr. is working out, so he whipped me into shape. And
I saw that somewhere. I saw a picture of you guys working out.
Like us on
we're trying to
Facebook.
put a
Who
fitness
whipped you
program
into
together
shape?
also. I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him.
And look out for Melly Mel's hip hop food, or we're going to call it something.
The hip hop protein shake.
There you go.
Yeah, it is.
Hip hop
Like us on
protein drink.
Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Check us out on WOHH.org.
Oh, and on that note, I got a new baking soda coming out. That's funny, dude.
A new pork rind.
Look at the talented artist. Check this out.
I lost my home in Jersey, it's nearly ripped in two. Came up here to find some work, but what I found was true. When you're down, look around, the only thing to do. Pick up the pieces and fight. Pick up the pieces and fight. Gather up your pride, stick together and fight. Mama told me when you're down, pick up the pieces and fight. You got your friends and family, you know the love is true. But even they can't get it right, it's gotta come from you. Now wipe away those fears and fright. Pick up the pieces and fight. Pick up the pieces and fight. Pick up the pieces and fight. Gather up your pride, stick together and fight. Mama told me when you're down, pick up the pieces and fight.
When times get tough, the tough get going. I've seen enough tears to sail across my own ocean. But we never give up. If you fall down, all you gotta do is get up. Son, keep your head up. I know you feel fed up. You wonder when the storm's gonna let up. But all you gotta do is stay true to you. Then watch your world start to look a lot better. Nothing lasts forever. My friend, don't give in to the pressure. No need to let the nonsense stress you. Yo, you gotta fight for your right to live. For your mind, let it shine bright. That's all it is. Yeah, we're stronger than the storm. Stronger than the storm.
the only thing to do.
Pick up the pieces and fight. Pick up the pieces and fight.
Gather up your pride.
Stick together and fight.
Mama told me when you're down,
Pick up the pieces and fight.
you got your friends and family. You know that love is true. But even they can't get it right. It's gotta come from you. Wipe away those tears of pride.
Pick up the pieces and fight. Pick up the pieces and fight. Pick up the pieces and fight.
Gather up your pride.
Stick together and fight.
Mama told me when you're down,
Pick up the pieces and fight. Pick up the pieces and fight. Harder than a storm.
gather up your pride.
Stick together and fight.
Mama told me when you're down.
Pick up the pieces and fight.
Mama told me when you're down.
Pick up the pieces and fight.
Mama told me when you're down.
Pick up the pieces and fight.
Happy birthday to the Bronx. Hundreds celebrated the Bronx's 100th birthday anniversary at a kickoff ceremony at the Veterans Memorial Hall of the Bronx County Building. There, Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. was sworn in for a second term as the entire Bronx New York City Council delegation, and New York City Council Speaker Melissa Mark Viverito looked on.
The last 100 years have seen major changes in the Bronx on all fronts, demographically, culturally, economically. We are one of the most diverse places in the world, and here in the Bronx, we embrace that diversity. The Bronx is constantly changing and constantly evolving. As we look back to the past, let us reflect on the first 100 years of Bronx County. But we must also be mindful of the future and where the next 100 years will take us.
Justice Douglas McKeon also swore in the newly elected members of the City Council in the event meant to acknowledge the creation of the Bronx in 1915 as a separate borough from Manhattan County.
I am just so ecstatic about knowing the history and being a part of today making history. For another 100 years, when they do this again, they'll look back and see who were the individuals, the players, the borough president, Diaz, delivering a speech along with the new mayor. I'm just so excited that I had a time to be an opportunity to be a part of all of this.
I'm glad to be part of that and to be part of the 100-year celebration. I could have been elected 20 years ago, 20 years later, but to be here exactly in the 100-year celebration, I count it an honor. And we celebrate everyone else who made the Bronx to be what it is today, and we don't forget. We cannot forget the past if we are going to appreciate the future.
Also providing a look back at the borough's history to how far it's come, Bronx Borough historian Lloyd Olton.
The Bronx Borough Courthouse was erected in 1906 to provide some local court for the convenience of Bronxites. But most people believed it was built to be a future county courthouse. For more than a decade, lawyers, business, civic, and political leaders waged a long fight against Tammany Hall Democrats and upstate Republicans to get the state legislature to establish a Bronx County. Thus, on the first day of 1914, Judge Louis D. Gibbs inducted the newly chosen county officials into office. With this act, Bronx County was underway.
A plaque was also unveiled by the Bronx Chamber of Commerce commemorating the historic resurgence of the Bronx.
The Bronx can really celebrate not only its 100-year history, but especially its resurgence today, because there's a real renovation, there's a real renaissance in the Bronx, with businesses moving in, the population is increasing, the deterioration has really ended.
So the best years of the Bronx are ahead, and we're delighted to be here. We're delighted to be supportive of our borough president, who has a vision, who always stands tall for the borough and doesn't let anybody disrespect us.
Fresh from his own inauguration, Mayor Bill de Blasio came to praise Diaz Jr. for his leadership.
The Bronx is synonymous to me, and Mr. President, I will not be political. I would never do that. The Bronx is synonymous to me with progressive values. And when you look, you can clap for that. When you look year after year in this city, where some of the most powerful progressive voices come from, it's the Bronx. When you look, if you happen to peruse election results, as some of us have been known to do from time to time, you look at the extraordinary message you get from the Bronx in terms of the kind of values that we need to make this a city that's more fair and equitable for all.
The event, followed by a reception, further put the best of the Bronx on display.
Well, 100 years, my family, my grandmother and my grandfather from 1922 on Arthur Avenue. And they were always very Bronx proud. To be in Little Italy on Arthur Avenue, I know I'm in the best Little Italy in New York. But to be in the Bronx makes it special.
The best people in the world live in Bronx County.
Mainland Media started with the mission to help improve the image of the Bronx. Two companies fall under the Mainland Media umbrella. One is From the Bronx, FromTheBronx.com, where we sell all of our Bronx-themed merchandise. And the other is the Bronx Beer Hall. And currently in the center of the Arthur Avenue Retail Market at 2344 Arthur Avenue.
A 100th birthday is very special, and we have to celebrate it in a special way and commit ourselves to the next 100 years. Progress, of promise, and of accomplishment. So I couldn't be happier to be part of it.
And the Bronx Historical Society has events planned throughout the year.
We have 2 walking tours scheduled. One is going to be in Mott Haven, and the other one is going to be along the Grand Concourse.
As if this wasn't enough, the Empire State Building is being lit up in orange, white, and blue. Those are the colors of the Bronx flag. If you'd like more information on the history of the Bronx, you can go to bronxbp.gov. For BronxNet, this is Arlene Makoko.
See, take off that stupid hat.
Yeah, sure, sir. I'm sorry about that, brother. I didn't mean to have my hat on.
What the hell do you want, Robles?
All right, look, Padre, I'm going to be upfront with you, okay? Mira, I'm trying to get my show, Comedy Rumba, on the air. But there's people out there that are, getting in my way. They don't want to see the show there. And the only way I can do it, is with your blessing in that, Without this show, Padre, I'm nobody. I'm finished. I'm doomed. The only way I can do it is with your blessing. Por favor, Padrino, I need your bendición. Por favor, Padrino.
Did anybody ask this man if he's Puerto Rican?
Hey there! Whoa! Yeah? Stop the hurt!
So you heard of the Chewbacca fish?
Yeah. Chupa who?
Well, you heard of the Chewbacca fish, haven't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And just so the people at home know, describe it real quick for us.
Describe what?
A fish that flies out of the water, almost like a rocket. It goes like 12 feet in the air. And then what happens is it comes back down before it hits the water. It flies into people's neck and starts biting you in the neck and in the face.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If it's out there, I'm going to catch it on camera because I've been out here with my camera for years.
You know how the Chewbacca fish works? What happens is it shoots like rockets out of the water 5 feet in the air, and then as it jumps, and then what happens 5 feet in the air, comes down, right before it hits the water, it does a one of these moves and flies into your neck and starts biting you and stuff.
Nah, they don't have no fish like that out here, do they?
Yeah, it's the Chewbacca fish. That's what
they have it out here in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then what happens is right before it comes and hits the water.
Yeah, he tried to hit somebody.
Exactly.
Llegaron los caballos. ¡Huépame! Mira, yo te vi con ese teléfono.
Let me hear everybody clap. Let me hear you. Let me hear you. Let me hear you. That was fantastic. It was beautiful, right?
I like it.
Yeah, you just saw the previews for the exciting one-of-a-kind show, Comedy Rumba. And our first guest is a host of the legendary award-winning program, and he joins us today to share more about this show and his return to BronxNet. You know, you're coming back to BronxNet. You're going to be premiering February 4th, 5th, and 6th at 11 p.m.
Yeah, the reunion episode.
On Channel 67.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm looking at that trailer and I'm thinking, my God, you know, man, it brings back so many memories. That was 96. And to this day, people still talk about Comedy Rumba. And that's why, you know, I got together with the co-creator, my man, Michael Max Nabi, right here from BronxNet.
Yeah.
We said,
all right, another big round of applause. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, where is
All
he?
right.
I told him to come out here. Well, come out here. He's the brains, man. You don't see him, but he's the brains behind the scenes, man.
He is. He does.
So we talked about doing a reunion episode, and we just completed it. It's hot, you know, and we mess around and do what we do best.
You're going to get a chance to see that. You heard it first right here on
Right.
Channel 67.
That's
the
right.
4th, 5th, and 6th at 11 p.m. Write it down. Put it on your calendar.
Exclusively on BronxNet.
Yeah. Now, are they still talking about the chupa fish?
You know, every time I walk down the street, it could be, you know, wherever I might be, and they go, hey, man, you Roomba guy, yeah? And that's the first one they bring up, you know. I remember, what do you call it? They refer to it as the chupacabra fish. I go, no, that's the Chewbacca. They go, yeah, Chewbacca. And then they go, yeah, my mother, what was that show? Which makes me feel old. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but to this day, people still, it's amazing, man, the following that we still have to this day.
Yeah. Can you tell us about the history of Comedy Rumba?
Comedy Rumba, real quick, 1996, I'm sitting on my sofa. You know, I'm a stand-up comedian, and, you know, obviously when I turn on the channel, I see comedians on Comedy Central, I see BT, comedians on BET, but I never saw Latino comedians or sketches, what have you. And I said, you know, we got to do something. And don't ask me what. It must have been God's guidance or something, but I get up from my sofa, literally, put on my jacket, and go to BronxNet. And that's where I met Nabi for the first time.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'd like to do a show. It's going to have sketches, men on the street. Basically, all I had was a handwritten piece of paper of the idea, you know, but I memorized it. Yeah. And I told them, and they said, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. When do you want to do this? We taped that.
Michael Max Nabi is great for sniffing out great ideas, and he'll do it live. You see.
In fact, that was him, not me.
No, he'll do that. I watched him do it. He says, oh, I got a great idea. And so he sniffed you out, man.
So it was a great opportunity, and that's why, you know, BronxNet, thanks to BronxNet, you know, I think when I came here, it was like 2 stations, 67, 68.
Right.
But here we have a little community television station that really put me on the national map, because from Comedy Rumba is where I got my Que Loco show, Video Mix show, Comedy Picante show, got me an Emmy Award. But BronxNet was the launching pad.
So this is a great bounce for you.
No, this was the launching pad that got me out there. So, you know, if I had any message without turning into like a Deepak Chopra, would be like, man, if you got a dream or you really feel something that you want to do,
oh, beautiful.
all you got to do is take action. You just got to go, ask, and disguise the limit.
Oh, man.
And here we are, sitting down here later, you know, doing a reunion show, and I'm excited, man. And thank you to BronxNet for making it happen, because they bring to the community what's missing in mainstream media.
Yeah. What makes this show so unique?
It's the craziness. It's the unpredictability. You know what? Sometimes don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I have a rough outline, but I don't know. But the Man on the Street segment is probably the one where we don't know who we're going to meet. We don't know what they're going to say. I mean, in the latest episode, when you tune in that weekend, one of the questions on the street, because what I do is I make up stories. They're all fake, obviously. Yeah. But people believe they're real, and the responses are hilarious. So this one that you're going to see, or one of the ones you're going to see, is I went out there and told people that the government is going to start giving out IQ tests to parents in order to have a baby. Now, if you don't pass the test, you're responsible for all medical costs. If you do pass, you keep your baby. Now, you have an option. If you can't afford those medical expenses, you have the option of giving your baby to a gay couple. What do you think about that? And when you see the responses, I mean, they're just off the charts.
It's crazy, right?
It's off the charts.
What's one of your most memorable shows?
They're all memorable. Obviously Orchard Beach was memorable. Probably that one, because, when we invented the Chewbacca fish, that there was this fish flying in the water biting people. I kind of felt, more than memorable was the one I felt bad about the most, because there were literally people with families saying, pack up, let's go.
So you thought Jaws was bad, right?
Yeah, they were folding up their blankets, and they see a family, like of 6, literally walking out of the beach with the coolers and just sad because they didn't want to get bit by the fish. And I told Max, I go tell them, man. I was joking, but I stood at a distance because the guy probably would have peeped.
And telling people on the way coming into the beach, hey, man, you don't want to go in the water, man. There's chupas in there.
Yeah, but that one, we had fighting, boxing. This particular one here, we got what we call it a rumbazo, which I got to give Max credit for. But we do stand-up comedy at La Bodega. And you can imagine that, walking into a bodega and seeing live stand-up comedy. And during the live stand-up comedy, a wrestling match breaks out. And this craziness is going on. I get trash against some potato chips. I don't know, but that's why I love Rumba so much.
It was all that in a bag of chips, though.
All that within a 3-minute sketch. Imagine that.
Wow.
Yeah. So the insanity. That's why Comedy Rumba is different. It's just, it's nuts. I don't know of any show that's out there.
The last
like
time I saw you didn't have that beauty mark on the side of your face.
No, this is what happened. People, it's like, oh, what's that? What's that? And what happened was, Enrique Iglesias had his mole removed. I happened to buy it on eBay. And it came in the mail the other day.
You can buy moles on eBay.
Yeah. So you get a little bit of that glue, and you kind of do this, and you go, pa, pa, pa. So this here, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, is Enrique Iglesias' mole. Yeah. And I feel so sexy when I wear it. This is like cologne for the face.
Yeah, I see. So, where are you going to be shooting some of these shows? Can people participate, get in the background, and be an extra? Hey.
See, that's the other beauty about Comedy Rumba. We don't know when we're taping. When we tape, people find us. So there's no planning. There's no predictability. So I couldn't say we're going to be out on this day taping. If you happen to find us, cool.
But we can see you on Fordham Road or Orchard Beach or whatever.
Chances are Fordham Road is where you're going to find us. Cause that's been like, we always go to Fordham Road. That's been the hotbed there.
Did you capture somebody who was speaking Spanish who didn't want to show that they knew how to speak English or something like that?
Really?
Explain that.
I did?
Yeah.
He didn't want to speak English?
Yeah, it was like a comedy, part of your skit.
Oh, yeah. No. What you're talking about, it's a sketch we did on the new show. It's called Don't Confuse the Races.
Yeah.
That one, I believe, is what you're talking about, where I can't let out more than that because I'll give the sketch away.
All right, leave it like that.
But let's just put it this way. As Latinos, there is interracial kind of racism, but I bring it out in a funny way. So it's just basically, if you can imagine, don't confuse the races. I don't think he didn't want to speak Spanish. I just think he didn't want to admit to certain things. If I remember, I don't know, but.
So you just play it off and say, I don't speak no English.
You're going to have to see the sketch, but it's hilarious what happens as a result of a simple question.
Yeah. And what made you decide to come back and do a reunion episode?
Well, like I said, me and Max, we stayed in touch, Rumba was 96. It's like 16 years, later. And then we just got to talking. Hey, why not? Because people kept saying, hey, Comedy Room. And I go, but this was like 12 years ago, 13 years ago. And I go, people still remember. One at a reunion episode, before we both, get old and, move on to the farm, as they say. I'm good for 1 or 2 more, before I, call it a day. And then he said, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but along the way, you met so many wonderful people. Name some of those people that you met in the business.
From 96?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. See, BronxNet was the launching pad. BronxNet, back then, we had our artists, but when I moved on to the national stage, I had the opportunity to interview Mark Anthony, P. Diddy, Fat Joe, Sofia Vergara, and the list goes on of so many. Joe Jackson, Michael Jackson's father.
Yeah.
And that would have never happened if BronxNet didn't launch me into the sky.
Right. So
Did I already mention enough times BronxNet?
Yeah.
All right, one more time, I get paid. No.
You forgot Julio Iglesias one more time. You met him because you...
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't meet Enrique. I just went onto eBay and I saw his mole was for sale.
Yeah. So you met his mole.
Well, his mole is on my face and I feel sexy. But no. So I got to meet so many great people, you know, and again, you know, do these shows, and it's great, and it's great to be back here because again, see what BronxNet is doing. They're feeling like this social need in the sense of, in mainstream, you don't get to see this type of Latino comedy humor, especially coming from the East Coast. I'm talking Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban. I don't. If you know somewhere where you can catch it, let me know because I want to tune in.
Yeah.
So we are filling a void of BronxNet, you know.
We can't wait. I mean, it's going to be premiering February 4th, 5th, and 6th at 11 p.m. on Channel 67. But I'm tempted to ask you to give us a quick something, a little sneak preview as to what's going to happen
on the new show.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. You know, we got sketches, like I said. You know, the man on the street is always kicking. We have a chancla. Everybody knows if you're Latino what a chancla is, right? Well, we have a chancla revolution.
She's still laughing back there.
Yeah, we have a chancla revolution. If you could imagine a revolution involving chanclas, we got that going on. We got comedy rumbazo, which is, just think of the image, like I said, you know, stand-up comedy from a bodega, and comedy's going on. And while you walk in, you're looking at comedians, and there's wrestlers fighting it somewhere in the chip aisle. You know, so it just goes on. And then there's a segment that, I'll tell you what, I'll give you this as a tease. Okay. You know, there's a segment, it's only 3.5 minutes. It's a man on the street thing. We were debating, should we put it? Should we not put it? It might get people offended, it might not. So I would say it's probably going to be a segment where it's going to cause controversy as far as where your head is at. Either you're going to see it as a joke, or you're going to say, my God, he should have asked that question.
Wow.
I'll leave it at that. You're going to have to tune in to see what that segment is. And I hope people see the joke in it. But we were debating to leave it in the show or take it out. And I think I convinced Mex to leave it in. And if the punches start flying, we take it.
Well, we can't wait to see it now.
Yeah.
So one more question. What's next for Comedy Rumba?
Well, we're going to let people enjoy this one. And then, who knows, maybe in the summertime we'll do another one. Yeah, you know, this is what
you got to keep it going now. You're back.
Well, yeah, but this is what makes it fun. Maybe like once every 3 months or something, you know, because these shows take time, and then they, you know, we just don't throw them out like a machine. You know, these are handmade. Takes a little longer to make, you know.
That's right.
And that's what we do. But the difference now is back then, if you wanted to watch this show, you had to be in the Bronx watching BronxNet. But, you know, fast forward 16 years later, we have social media.
Yeah, you can watch it all over the place.
No matter where you live in the world, just go to BronxNet.org, and it'll be streaming.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I'm curious most about. Now that the entire world has a chance to see this thing.
And it reminds me, we got some people in L.A., Walter Richards, my son Shaheem across the world, in Indonesia. Everybody watches this show by way of social media.
Yeah,
so you're absolutely right.
You'd be surprised how many Latinos and whatever, you know, who will come out of the Bronx or the East Coast that are in military bases.
Yeah.
Who can tune in to BronxNet and watch this show. Because a lot of times what I did, believe it or not, with the comedy shows, I would mail them DVDs. Because these guys like to sit in a recreation room and laugh off that stress. And I can't tell you how many DVDs I've sent to these soldiers, you know, in Iraq and Afghanistan for free, you know, just... And they email me back and say, man, thanks so much. We needed that laugh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going back out on tour. And I can only imagine that. But that's probably the greatest thrill I get as a comedian, that, you know, you can make people laugh, and especially soldiers. So soldiers now can kind of, you have a break, go BronxNet.org if you're sitting somewhere in Afghanistan.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to call you out there to perform live.
They did.
A number of people out there that I know who have gone there.
Yeah, that's a little scary, but if, you know.
You can handle it. You got our support.
I got some. I'll leave it. Thank you. I'll tell you what. Why don't I go out there? And I would be honored if you introduce me.
I'll introduce you.
You come out there with me.
I'll introduce you.
So if anyone from the armed forces is watching, the legend here, Mr. Lee, and myself, we're going to Afghanistan.
We'll go out and we'll have some fun. All right,
we'll
lighten things up just a little bit. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Mike Robles.
Yes.
Comedy Rumba. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, you can check it out. They're going to be premiering this February 4th, 5th, and 6th at 11 p.m. on Channel 67. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see it.
We can't wait either, man. And I appreciate this segment, and I thank you.
There you go. All right.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for rolling those R's. I appreciate it.
I'm hanging out in the bodegas and see if you pop in. I'll be in the back.
Yeah, I'm usually by the big aguacates.
You wait until they ripen and then you cut them up.
They're like 12 pounds.
Oh,
you never seen those things? They're like mega big.
The overgrown joints.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Mike. And you'll be coming back to share more, right?
Oh, yeah. Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
Or are we off the air? Are we off the air?
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I want to mention tomorrow night, I'm going to be at the South of France.
Oh.
We're doing our comedy show. It's at 8 p.m., so I think the flyer's up somewhere. But South of France, Westchester, 8 o'clock. And then I go back to L.A. I'm gone. So this is the last time they catch me in the Bronx until the summertime.
Wait a minute. We're not going to let you go. We got another stage over there. Thank you so much. Give him another big round of applause, everybody. Mike Robles.
Thanks.
Comedy Rumba once again, premiering February 4th, 5th, and 6th, right here on Channel 67 at 11 p.m. Make sure you tune in and check it out. Mark it down on your calendar. For all information on this great program, you can check out the hashtag Comedy Rumba.
Correct.
Roll your tongue. Rolling
Now you're
right
rolling the R's. Room. Some people get upset. No, it's not Roomba. It's
Rumba.
And that makes it special. What other language do you know rolls R's?
That's right. And we got to take a quick break right here, but we'll be back with a whole lot more next.
I'm Madeline Rodriguez, and I'm in the Bronx at Beso Lounge. We're here celebrating 40 years of hip-hop in the birthplace of hip-hop with hip-hop legends.
Is this the 40-year history, or the anniversary history, rather, of hip-hop music? These gentlemen here are the pioneers of this musical genre, which has circumvented and took over the world.
Nobody thought that hip-hop would grow to the proportions that it has. I mean, this is phenomenal. None of us had any idea we'd get this big, but those of us who always kept a passion for it, like me, I live this culture.
These guys are already legends already. You understand? The hip hop, I grew up with their music. So we're gonna keep it pretty simple and clean, and we're gonna turn out a great shoot today. I am happy to be a part of this.
Me doing this was like, right on time. And to be with my other brothers, Grandmaster Cass, Melly Mel, my father, Africa Bambaataa, and myself, I'm so very happy to be a part of this.
We coming together to bring about a good vibration for the people, by the people.
When we first started doing hip hop, and it was highly competitive. Like all of us, between me, Kaz, and Bam, Theodore, and he was down with the Fantastic. But as time made us, understand what was really going on, it kind of bonded us together because we had that sameness.
The forces that got hip hop started are here together. And this is big. This is epic. These are American heroes, these pioneers, these hip hop icons, but they're also our neighbors. They're our friends. They're part of our community, the fabric of our community in the Bronx, part of the resurgence of the Bronx, symbols of urban renewal, and the message is positive.
Windows of Hip Hop is laying out a platform for the pioneers to get noticed for the work that they have done and the steps they have made throughout the history of hip hop.
Well, when we first heard about this, there was no question we were going to get involved. We see Metro Optics, which is a 35-year-old eye care and eyewear company in the Bronx, as a Bronx institution, and hip-hop is, without a doubt, a Bronx institution.
Hip-hop! I'm Madeline Rodriguez reporting for BronxNet Television.
And this is the General Grandmaster Melly Mel, and I approve that message. Rah!
Pace yourself and have fun. So let's go have fun. Let's go do it.
The tricky thing about shoulders, your shoulders is a 3-tier muscle. You have your front delt, you have your rear delt, and you have your mid delt. So when you're working out your shoulders properly, you have to do 3 different exercises.
It's wonderful being able to compete with a lot of these young guys from all over the world. It's important to stay in shape.
Hi, this is Jeff Fox for 107.5 WBLS. And when I get off the radio, I check out my man, the Dr. Bob Lee. It's open on BronxNet. I never miss it.
Doon, 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 doon. Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, the Dr. Bob Lee. Welcome back to Open. Now it's time for Music Mondays. Here we go. Bam. Keep it going, keep it going. Our next guest is an award-winning singer, songwriter, and producer. He's here to join us today and share his smooth sounds. Let's give it up for Nelson Frank. Here we go. Alrighty. Now, Nelson Frank, he's been around. Tell us about some of your awards and things, because a lot of people don't know. But for those who do, they know. But tell the people that don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done a lot of records for Keisha Cole, Tank, Omarion, a bunch of artists, and I've been nominated for 3 Grammys before. I did a song for Pleasure P called Under, which was one of my favorite songs, man, that we were nominated. I'm just so excited about that.
Yeah. And so you've been in the game for a little while. What made you want to get involved?
My grandmother, she was a promoter, so I got a chance to get around the club scene and the party scene early at a very early age. To be honest with you. So, and then I've just been engulfed with the music as far as go-go music and everything. And I started doing backgrounds for Genuine, and from there it just kicked off for me.
Yeah. So you've been in the game now. Are you performing anywhere in New York City?
I'm performing everywhere. Everyone that needs Nelson Frank, I'm here. Just contact my people. Follow me on Twitter and everything. And right now we're trying to bring a lot of attention to Forever Young Music Group. We're going to take an old school approach to it. So we're going to hit the streets, and I'm going to perform everywhere.
Now you have the CD out.
Yeah.
What's the name of the CD?
The CD is called Nothing's Impossible.
Nothingsimpossible.com.
Absolutely.
No, we didn't put a .com on it, but
right.
but you got Angelo and everybody working behind Angelo LB.
Yes.
That whole crew.
I'm just proud to have
phenomenal
a great
crew.
team. Absolutely, great team. Angelo with Double Exposure, and then of course with my management, Russell Webster. He's here. I'm just excited to have an incredible team behind my music.
Russell.
Yeah, man. So it's just awesome, man.
Yeah,
awesome.
And you're gonna join us Thursday too, right?
That's
At
right.
the Make the Great Awards.
That's right. I'm gonna tell you.
We're gonna kick it up a notch. Here we go, yo. Here, can I rap along with you? Then?
Absolutely.
Spit 16.
I got a 16 right there waiting on you.
There you go. All right. So you gonna do something for us right now?
Yes, man. Yeah, I'm gonna do a song called "Losing You." It's one of my favorite songs off the album.
There you go.
Just check it out. I hope you love it.
Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Nelson Frank in the house.
I got to testify. Hey! I got to testify. Look, see, baby, you don't treat me the same. Still, you say I am the man. So you've been stingy with your loving, and I know somebody else is doing the touch. See, girl, I've been trying, holding in, but I just can't stand to live without your loving. Please, don't tell me you're leaving, cause I can't handle this cold and lonely season. Oh, something's going wrong. This don't feel like home. I think I'm losing you. I'm losing you. Tell me that you care, baby. I swear I think I'm losing you. Now I'm laughing to keep crying, cause it's our love that's truly dying. And I'm angry as hell, cause I think I'm losing myself. Ooh, I feel like such a fool, cause I'm still trying to get back to you. Please, just give me a reason why you would want to leave the one you claim you needing. Oh, something's going wrong, cause this don't feel like home. I think I'm losing you. Hey, oh baby, please tell me that you care. Baby, I swear I think I'm losing you. Oh, something's going wrong, 'cause this don't feel like home. I think I'm losing you. Oh, baby, tell me that you care. Baby, I swear I think I'm losing you. Oh, you don't want me no more. You don't want me no more. Wow. Oh no. You don't want me no. You don't. Oh, you don't want me no more. Oh no. Ooh. This don't feel like home. I think I'm losing you. Oh, baby, tell me that you care. Baby, I swear I think I'm losing you. Oh. You don't want me no more. You don't want me no more, baby. Ooh. Oh no. Hey, you don't want me no more.
Oh man, the melodic sounds of Nelson. Give him another big round of applause, everybody. My man Nelson Frank doing his thing. Yes, indeed. Oh man, all right. I never saw you, kick it up live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right.
I do a little something here and there.
Now we know you're out there. I like your style and everything.
Thank you. It's always about staying dapper. We gotta represent. We gotta stick together.
There you go. Where are you originally from?
D.C., Maryland area.
D.C. Here we go. All right, they can check you out. Use that.
Take this? Okay, absolutely.
Yeah. So what's next for you?
Right now, I'm gonna hit the road as hard as possible. So you're gonna see me everywhere. I might be on the side of the street somewhere. I might be at a Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't know. But I'm gonna be somewhere singing. That's right. We taking an old like an old time approach to it. So we plan on hitting the streets every day, singing as much as possible, getting the name out there, Nelson Frank everywhere, so that when the album does come out in 2014, you know exactly who I am. You know where to find me.
So the Club Nouvelles.
Yeah.
Mention all those artists that you've worked with in the past, because you wrote for them and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've done work for like Ron Isley. So I got a chance to work with him. I worked with Tank. I did executive producer of his last album. Did that.
Well, you guys sing a little piece of each thing that you did now.
Right. I did Emergency and a couple other records for Tank. I did Genuine's Heaven. I did LaToya Luckett's Regret. Featuring Ludacris, I worked with Omarion. I Get It In. We've been working, man. But I'm really excited about what we have going on now at Forever Young Music Group. We have a bunch of new artists coming out. Ashley Brown. And we bringing back some real R&B, man, some real pop music. My album itself is just everywhere. Itself, too.
Nothing's impossible.
That's right.
It's in stores now.
No, not yet.
Oh, coming up.
It will be in 2014.
There you go. All right, it's coming up. Right. Can you sing another one for us?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Give us some information of where we can get your CD.
What you can do is follow me on Twitter. I am Nelson Frank, and then of course you can Google me, baby.
Yeah.
Nelson Frank World on Instagram and everything else. So.
All right, and you can check him out if you want to come on down. He's going to be at this coming Thursday, the 21st. He's going to be at the Make the Great Awards at Terrace on the Park. All right.
Absolutely. Come see your boy.
It's from 6:30 to about 11 o'clock at night. But, the cocktail and all that, your section will be in there. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to honor some wonderful people. What it is that the Make the Great Awards, we give awards to people who are doing some great things in our community.
Awesome.
And we're kicking it up for the kids. We're building internet radio and TV stations so we can play more of your music, man.
Wow, yes.
And put more of their programming on, too.
Right, that's awesome.
From their angle and their point of view. So, we want to thank you for contributing to that also.
Oh, absolutely. And also, we have a nonprofit called The Difference. We work with inner city kids. It's about 40 kids we have right now that do music and everything.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We're doing our thing to make sure that we're playing our part as well.
Well, maybe we can do a collab.
Absolutely. Let's definitely do that.
Angelo, hook that up.
Absolutely. Let's get it.
All right, getting it in. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Nelson Frank. Now, you're going to take us home with something?
Yes.
I'm going to hit this and you hit that. Ready? Unfortunately, that's about all the time we have for today's show, but many thanks to all of our guests for tuning in and joining us, and thank you, our viewer, for checking it all out. If you missed any part of today's show, you can tune in to the Recablecast at 5 and 10 p.m., and you can watch anytime on the web at bronxnet.org, or you can catch an all-new episode Wednesday at 10 a.m. with my man Darren Jaime. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control your chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. I'll catch you on tonight right after the Quiet Storm with my man Lenny Green. Nelson Frank in the house. Take us home. Here we go.
Absolutely.
Have a drink with me. Think with me. Just be wherever I be. Hope with me. Joke with me. Openly. I know I can be a piece of work, but work with me, 'cause I'm so much better with you. In my life, I'm so much better with you. With you, I'm so much better. So much better, baby. Come live with me. Have kids with me. Laugh and talk about all the crazy things you ever did with me. Then curse me out, but it would hurt me out to see you with someone else. Now I can be crazy at times, wild and out of my mind, but I'm so much better, so much better, so much better. I'm so much better with you. Said I'm better with you, with you. I'm so much better. So much better, baby, with you, 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 oh, you, oh, you, 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 baby. I know I can be a piece of work, but work with me, 'cause I'm so much better with you.